How do you think Brodie Croft looked today?
Thought he looked like Brodie Croft, but in a better coloured jersey.
Leeds have won back-to-back Rugby League titles. The golden generation finally has its golden fleece. No England game, it seems, is complete without a Ryan Hall try. Jamie Peacock.
Kevin Sinfield.
Rob Furrow.
Jamie Jones Buchanan for Leeds.
It's one of the most popular beards in rugby league.
There aren't many in Super League that can do that.
We just want to be a great friend, and if we can all try and be a bit of a better friend from time to time, I think we have a bit of a better place to live in.
The Lot Pod is kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Fast Signs are an established family-run business who've been providing businesses around Leeds and West Yorkshire with effective signs and graphics for almost 30 years. Fast Signs are passionate about helping customers make a statement with signs that are eye-catching, effective and delivered fast. Hi everyone, Merry Christmas. Oh, by the way, it's the Christmas special, so we are going to sing.
Well, you know, I was.
You did say a swear.
Yeah, I was, and didn't come in time, so.
Keep that in. Merry Christmas, everyone. Welcome to the Lot Pod. Kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. We're here at AMT Headingley for another Lot Pod special. Reese is here with me, as always. Who have we got today? Statman Reese.
Leeds Rhinos, #1, Lachie Miller. How are we?
Good, really good.
Good. We've heard that Mondays are hard sessions, so you were a bit sore this evening.
It is a Monday.
Yeah. I haven't copped it quite as bad as the boys, but there will be some sore bodies tonight.
It's good to hear.
Welcome back, because we did speak to you at the media day at the start of last year when we were all freezing our bollocks off because it was so unbelievably cold on that January day. You've had a British summer. That was summer, by the way.
Yeah.
What did you think of the weather? Because it's absolutely chalk and cheese to...
To be honest, me, and I speak on behalf of my family, we actually love it, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. It's nice to go back home, but we love the weather. The still a novelty this winter. The dark kind of sucks. But no, we love it. The summer was good. We got to go away a little bit, and then this time around, this winter around compared to last, I feel like it's been a lot better, but that's just me.
The worst is still yet to come, just to put that one out there.
It's only December.
I think you said you hadn't left your house, jokingly or in jest, I wasn't quite sure, but when we spoke to you in February, you hadn't left the house yet. One of the other things we asked you on the media day was about fish and chips, and you said, disappointingly, that you hadn't had a chance to have them yet. So I'm hoping you've now redeemed yourself and had fish and chips from a chippy.
12 months on, I have not.
Really?
No.
What's preventing you from trying it? The smell? Is it
no, like
the diet?
Fish and chips is still like big back home.
Yeah.
It's not like
it's not the same. Though.
It's like
I've been down there, and it's not the same. It's
my
not
wife
the same fish.
thinks that fish and chips is for like a nice sunny afternoon at the beach.
Right. Yeah.
We just don't have that luxury over here. So it's hard for me to convince her. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to have to go out by myself.
You have to go down to Whitby.
St Michael's Lane is one literally 5 minutes up the road from here. You can get some on the way home. I don't care if you had dinner.
Right.
And we spoke to you about European sport, and in particular Leeds United. Have you gotten into Leeds United?
No, I follow him obviously with our man Alfie Edgell. He keeps me informed. But no, I follow him. Hopefully they get up in the Premier League so I can just support them and not another team. But yeah,
good.
Them.
Perfect. Get yourself a shirt.
Good to hear that you haven't followed Ash following Aston Villa. So that's
just weird.
Good to hear.
What a weirdo.
One of the things we sort of never really asked you actually at that media day was about your journey into rugby league, because it's a bit
quite a unique one.
It's a bit unorthodox. A late bloomer, is that fair to say in terms of the journey into rugby league? But like, did you play rugby league as a kid? Or
Yep. I played it all as a junior from, I think I started maybe when I was 10 maybe. And then all through juniors, was, successful through school, but I was always quite small. And then had a couple rough injuries through when I was in like year 12, when I was sort of starting to go all right. And then from there, it just didn't really eventuate. So
how did the journey go into sort of rugby sevens then? So on the other code, the other version of the other code.
Other code.
I don't know. Sevens, to be honest, was always a thing when I was younger. I was like, oh, that would be really cool. Like, that'd be a cool sport to play, and I feel like it suits me a little bit. But it was never ever a thing. And then there's a bloke in Australia called Glenn Eller. The Eller brothers, they're quite famous rugby union players. Just played in one of his tournaments once, and he just come along, and just from there it was word of mouth, and then just went for a train and trial with the Aussie team, and then just sort of kept hanging around. They couldn't get rid of me, so and then eventually they felt sorry for me and they gave me a contract. So yeah, that's how that happened. It was pretty lucky, to be honest.
And if anyone's not watched the Sort of 7 series, it's not just one tournament in the Olympics every year. It's a World Series, isn't it? It takes you to Hong Kong, London, Cape Town, all around the world. Like, what was your sort of favourite venue on that tour? Yeah,
Hong Kong's pretty cool. Obviously, it was like the birthplace of Sevens, so that tournament, it's pretty cool. And then that was my first tournament as well. I think it would be also good to go back to as a spectator, because you can see some of the crowd at the end of the day. They're having a lot of fun. But yeah, I loved Hong Kong. All of them, to be honest. I was very lucky to be able to play in them. Twickenham, I got to play there. That was pretty special.
And then obviously that took you on to the Olympics in Tokyo. Bit of a different Olympics, because obviously there wasn't. Well, there was the fans. I can't remember if there was fans there or not.
No,
so
there weren't. Yeah.
Didn't have quite the same atmosphere. But what was that sort of experience like, playing the Olympics, being in the Olympic Village and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, obviously it was cool. Like I sort of said before, I thought sevens would be cool when I was younger, but never ever my wildest dreams. Did I think I'd play for Australia? And then I never even thought about the Olympics. And one of my actually really good mates he played in my position in front of me, and sort of he had a bad luck run with injuries, so I kept getting tournaments and stuff. And then he left the sevens to go to Super Rugby, and then I was sort of in his position now. So then I didn't walk into the Olympics, but went into the Olympics team, and that village it was like, once you got into the village, it was really cool, and everything was normal. The athletes were normal. Everything was normal, but you just crowds couldn't come in and watch or anything like that.
So did you meet any sort of famous athletes in that village?
No, because I was super shy. But
I
stood from like 10 meters away from Yao Ming, the basketballer, the Chinese, and I was just like, wow,
superstar. Yeah,
he was bending down, putting his food on the table, and he was still taller than me. Just like, but yeah, no, it was cool to see. And then obviously the USA basketball team and stuff. It's good to see all those guys. It was cool.
I won't ask you if those stories about what goes on Olympic Village actually happens, because that's probably the wrong podcast for that. But then obviously, but then you moved obviously from the Olympics into the NRL. So what happened there in that opportunity going to Cronulla?
So I finished the year, or just before I finished the start of the Olympics, I had a chance to sign with the Sevens again, but I played rugby league when I was younger, and really, really wanted to pursue that. So I turned down the Sevens contract, and then had a bit of chat from a team in the US for rugby union, and then I was kind of waiting, just hoping for a rugby league contract. Because in the end, I sort of made the decision. I was like, I don't want to be sitting on the lounge saying I could have done that, or because you would have never known. So. Wait around. I had a couple train and trial offers, but I had a son at this stage, and my wife as well. So I had to think about that, and a train and trial for 15 weeks was just really risky. And I hadn't played the sport for 6 years, so I was like, oh, am I going to be good enough? So luckily, Craig Fitzgibbon gave me a call, and just from that chat straight away, he was super keen. He was really easy to talk to, and probably the best thing for me, to be honest, because he was still, one of my favourite coaches to play under, and he helped me lots, and obviously gave me an opportunity.
And was it like riding a bike again? Because sevens has been completely different to rugby union, in terms of playing. I was never really fit enough to do that well in it, I'm going to be honest. But did it feel like sort of like riding a bike going back into rugby league, or was it quite a journey to sort of get back into that different mindset?
No, I kind of obviously I had a heap to learn, especially coming from not nowhere near this level of rugby league, playing your local footy and a couple of rep teams and stuff, to then training in the NRL. It was a big learning curve, but it was also rugby league was way more natural to me than rugby union. To be honest, if I played 15s, I had no idea what I was doing. I was the worst 15s player. But it was, in ways it was a little bit more natural to be out in the field, but then I had so much to learn, especially in defence as a fullback and just things that you have to do that you don't think about. It was a big, steep learning curve, but lots of fun.
And then obviously 2023 brought a year at Newcastle. I think for the first 12 rounds, I think you only missed one game. Obviously, Ponga had been moved to the halves. Unfortunately, got his concussion. And then when he came back and you were still playing there. But what was it like to sort of play at Newcastle with Ponga and obviously sort of taking on that fullback role that he was vacating at the time to play in the halves?
It was good. Obviously, I went there with off a full season with Cronulla, and I had heaps of confidence. I went there. I was having lots of fun, really enjoying my footy. And then, as you said, to learn off, in my opinion, probably the best fullback in the game, or one of, definitely.
Hasn't got the best hair. Pappenhausen has, just pointing out.
Yeah, well, what about my mate here?
That's apparently, you have to have a bald head to coach these Rhinos, apparently. Because think about it. Brad, Rowan, Chev, technically, JJ, Bluey.
Are you next?
Is that what you're telling me? Is this how I find out?
I really hope not.
Captain, kicker.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, it was cool to sort of bounce off him, and just the way he thinks about the game is he's a super freakish talent. So that was awesome. And then it didn't quite pan out how we thought, because we did have 3 years there, but it's worked out for the best.
So what was the bit that sold you going into 24? What was the bit that sold you coming to Leeds in that time?
The weather.
The weather,
this
obviously.
podcast.
The lot pod.
The lot pod.
We were those free weirdos that approached you in the media day going, Jesus Christ, what have I done?
They won't leave me alone.
They did warn me, but no, it was just when I was younger, same sort of thing. I never thought I could sort of play at that level, and then always when I was younger was like, wow, how cool would it be to play overseas? And then the opportunity came up, and it came up to obviously Leeds, where you hear so much about that golden era. And so the Leeds are if you don't watch a heap of Super League back home, it's the team that you hear about type thing.
Really?
Well, it definitely was.
I imagine that's Leeds, Saints and Wigan probably.
Yeah.
Probably not.
But it was just the chat I had with Rowan was a good chat, and then my wife was like, she wanted to change, and we just thought it was just the best thing for us, because just the way the things panned out in Newcastle just didn't work out. And as soon as I had the chat, to be honest, I was like, I want to go. I just have to convince my wife, and she was like, no, let's go. So it was a really easy decision, and then, as I said, it's turned out to be a good decision.
Did you have any other offers on the table for any of the Super League sides at the time, or was it
sort of chat? There was chat. I spoke to Hull.
You were never going to go there.
Hull FC. And there was just a little bit of chat, but nothing serious.
As soon as Leeds came in, it was an easy choice.
Yeah.
It was a really easy choice.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
So obviously you've had the full season. I've got some stats for you here, just so because that's kind of what I'm meant to do on this pod. I mean, I've not done it for a while. But I'm going to ask you how you would summarise your season in a second, but I thought I'd give you the stats first. So obviously 24 games, 14 of which that we won in, 7 tries, 17 try assists, which was 9th in Super League and second most in the club behind Brody. 489 carries, which was second in Super League, obviously most in the club. 3,490 metres, which was 7th in Super League and most in the club. 14 clear breaks and 206 tackle busts, which I assume you were you were top of.
How have you not won Club Player of the Year?
have you met Brody Cross?
That's true, fair enough.
I hope he's watching this. There's too much hype around that bloke, man. I hope you're watching it.
He doesn't watch us last week. Hopefully he will now after I bothered him last week. How would you sort of summarise your season? Obviously, listen to those stats and just how you.
It's not a bad year, that.
No, obviously I had my ups and downs, but I was happy with how I went. And then obviously just probably one stat you didn't mention was my errors, which was probably...
I thought I was going to leave them off, to be honest, but there was cool.
They're probably one of the worst for a fullback anyway. And a lot of those ones were just in key moments. So that was a downfall, but like I was happy with how I played. Obviously a bit of a disruptive year. And we didn't get the results that we sort of wanted. But throughout the year, you could see that we were building, and those combinations amongst each other we're building, and like those things don't just happen.
No.
A lot of the big spines have been together for years and years, and like obviously the one that you guys had here a long time ago, they were school kids, played together. So they take time, and I think that from last year it's going to be a pretty exciting year.
And you mentioned a bit about the change. Like, how as a player do you manage that change process? Obviously, when everyone's going, you got Chev in temporary charge, you don't know who the next coach is going to be, and then obviously we had the news of Rob around the same time as well. How do you sort of approach those games and manage that change in that process?
I mean, I feel like you sort of just got to approach it the same way you'd always approach a game. At the end of the day, they're paid to coach, and they're paid to do what they're paid to do, and the club's paid to, find coaches, all that sort of stuff. We're paid to play footy, and we were brought here because they wanted us, or the club wanted us. It was a bit of a weird one because obviously Rowan was the one that gave me the opportunity over here, so that was a bit weird. But he was such a good person. His family, such good people. Just one of those things. Like when I was at Newcastle, it just didn't work out. So it was weird time, but we got through it. And then towards the end of the year, you could sort of see the results and the way we were playing it turned. And,
So when Brad was appointed, what was your sort of reaction?
I mean, I couldn't believe that Parramatta let him go, to be honest. Like,
I agree.
He was there for 10 years. He took him to a grand
He was a beast
final,
there, yeah.
came second. The year that they just had where they did release him, they had like their halves, their fullback, the 5'8", all had major injuries.
All gone, yeah.
Like he never had a full strength roster, and then so when they appointed him, I was like, well, like awesome. We've just got a NRL coach of 10 years to come over here, and he's gonna like. I felt like the English lads, like Cam Smith, Mikolai Ash, were like they were screaming out for a coach like Brad, and we got him. So I was pretty excited.
Oh, so that's interesting. And so the sort of senior leaders in the squad were wanting that sort of experienced. I mean, were they as specific as saying we want a really experienced NRL coach, or was there certain things that they were just hoping for?
Well, I mean, like those guys that I just mentioned, and Harry Newman, like they're really hard workers. Ash, like you see what he did last year, and the amount of work that he put in, and then
he probably would have been second in metres if Ash hadn't have missed half a season. To be
fair. But he did. So. But no, they were, and then you get the coach of Brad, who's very firm, knows how he wants to play, which is what we needed last year. So yeah, it's been really good.
So you say firm. Rob Oates told us he's scared of him.
I'm petrified.
And Jared at the live show told a story of unfortunately Tom Nicholson-Watson getting full beams at half time at London Broncos away. Yeah. Is he? I mean, you just said you're petrified of him. I don't know use your character to say something like that, but are they all speaking the truth?
Yeah, but like he's firm but really, really fair. And he's just put accountability on us as players, and then us as a playing group with standards and everything but like at the same time, everyone wants to do it. So like I think everyone's making those jokes. He's scary, and well, he is kind of scary. But like
he gets in at 5 a.m, doesn't he? And just
but he works like hard. Like he's like, as you said, he's in at 5 a.m. He's last to leave. Like he's allowed to be a bit scary, I suppose. But no, it's true.
And do you feel like he's already had a bit of an influence on your sort of game? Because I think there was comments from him, and I think we've seen a bit visually about yourself being a bit more direct with that ball in hand. Is that sort of the change that he's been making in that second half of last season?
Yeah, he just literally just said, this is sort of how I want your game to look. Obviously, you can do some things that not many other people can do, so I still want you to do that, but I want you to narrow your focus so that you're having a 7 out of 10 game more often than you're having an 8 and a 2. So
you've been listening to our ratings on the lot that we do each week. It's not ours, it's the listeners.
It's the listeners, it's not ours, it's you guys.
Yeah, well.
When we spoke to Ash Hanley on the pod a few weeks back, he said that we asked him about the change between Rowan and Brad Arthur, and Ash said he didn't really change much. There wasn't much in like Brad coming in and being like, right, forget everything that you've been doing. He said it was just really small, minute things, but it seemed to really work towards that.
Yeah, it's
and fought
not
back into the year.
It's not like he didn't come in as Ash said, didn't come in whole new playbook, whole new structures, anything like that. It's same sort of way of playing, but it's just more direct. It's more more emphasis on the little areas, the 1% areas, which is what you need to win games. And to be honest, the games all year we were in so many games, and we let ourselves down at like key areas, which is what he came in to fix. So, yeah, very good.
And going into, obviously, we're going to jump to 2025 a bit later, but just on this topic, is it still those little 1% that you're focusing on, or are we seeing a bit of a greater emphasis of his influence now? He's kind of always having a whole full pre-season.
Well, yeah, like we did the 2 weeks post when we got knocked out.
Yeah.
And then
Sorry,
that
I thought
was
you generally meant in pre-season then about getting knocked out in pre-season.
No, 2 weeks
back end of the year.
Back end of the year, which sort of set us up for this pre-season, and it hasn't changed much. Obviously, he's put more of an emphasis on how he wants to play and how we as a team want to play as well, because that's the way we want to play. And then he's just driving those little things more and more and more and more, because we got the whole pre-season to drive it. And then obviously fitness.
Yeah, we'll come on to pre-season in a second, but just some sort of questions on 2024 for yourself. Have you got a favourite game that you were a part of in 2024?
That's an easy one for me.
Is it?
I know I didn't ask me.
Well, I think
I played at Wigan at home.
Oh yeah, that Wigan game at home was pretty cool.
There we go.
Obviously, I hadn't played them ever, and they were
I
top
predicted
team
that
and everything.
win, by the way, on the pod.
They did have a rough.
I said we'll smash
rough
them.
weeks,
we
but-
win every week, so
Yeah,
it's not
we'll
really
smash them.
something new.
Got
Is
us
it?
to Twinlocky.
But we get at home.
Yeah, that was up there. And actually, to be honest, the Catalans game at home, the third one.
Yeah, third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were like, we needed to keep winning, I thought that was one of our better games. We defended really hard, and I think it was like maybe 20 minutes to go. I can't remember exactly, and it was 6-6, and then we just broke the game open.
Was that the
So
game?
round 3? Or?
No, like later on in the year.
The later one.
yeah.
Was that the
Last-
game
third
where
last game, I think.
Harry said it was his favourite? Harry Newman on
Yeah.
the documentary said, looking at Chris, he
Can't
said it was his
remember.
favourite Rhinos game to play in. That
Yeah, but I think you scored the last
Yeah.
try in that game.
Yeah.
Didn't you? So the 2 games you've picked out are 2 games that you've scored tries in.
It's no coincidence.
Yeah, well, back to Brad. He did put me into his office once and just said, "Mate, score more fucking tries."
Did he?
So,
There you
Well,
go.
bookmark that. 7 tries this year. Let's come back in a year's time and see where we are
19
after
next year.
2025. You've mentioned 2 of the games you scored a try, but have you got a favourite try from 2024 that you scored?
I was going to say all of Ash's.
That's the next question, to be fair. So yours, I've got a favourite just because it's absolutely bonkers and mad, which is the one against, I think it was the Hull KR when it bounced off the other side of the bar. When it,
Matt Frawley kicked it, didn't he?
yeah, Matt Frawley
And
kicked
hit
it,
the-
went into dead ball, but then it bounced off from there, and you just happened to be there at the time. Don't be that in a bad way. You
Johnny
were,
on the
you were there. You chased the kick. But that was one of my favourites because you literally did just go like that. And just
Yeah.
put it
Oh,
down.
thank you.
All I had to do was put it down. To be honest, I don't really know. Probably that Catalans one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember, to be honest.
And then favourite try from a Rhino this year. Obviously, Ash has got the library of them, as you just briefly mentioned. But have you got a favourite try from the season?
I think the first one we scored in round 1 against Salford. It's just like I was like watching. I was like, whoa, and how like this guy's a freak.
And then he did it again the following week.
And then he did it. And then he did it again in the mud.
He told us that at round 2 that he wrote in his book, because he says he writes in his book about what's going to happen in the game. That was a great hit. He said he's going to score a try off a kick from Brodie, and he's obviously scored. I don't know. He could have been bullshitting us. I'm not sure, but he did sound very convincing about it, and you might have seen the book.
What about
But
this
yeah,
guy, eh?
but
This
he
guy.
did say
No,
he wrote
yeah.
it, he manifested that.
He was definitely doing that. I remember he said, "Oh, maybe I should do that."
Well, we said to him, why didn't you write, if things were coming true, we are going to win the treble, we are going to win the league? But he just said he didn't, just forgot.
He's going to do it for next year.
Yeah.
So if you do a journal, there you go. Just, we will win the treble.
But yeah, probably that Ash. Like Ash had some. You just take your pick, pretty much.
Easy. And then favourite away ground of the season?
I actually, this is a weird one. I actually liked playing at Castleford.
It's my favourite away day.
Because
Other than Catalan, because that's in
Like going
France
back in time.
and the south.
I just love like how they're so on top of you. Like they're right there on top of you. The pitch is not great, but like
It was wet.
Well, to be honest, we got there and it was. I was like, "There's nothing wrong."
He scored his first 2 tries.
He scored his first 2 tries.
I was like, "There's nothing wrong with this pitch." And then we went in, got changed, came out, and it was just torrential. I was like, "Oh,
It was apocalyptic.
Yeah.
That night.
What are the changing rooms like there?
oh, terrible." But
Yeah.
that's kind of why I like it. Like,
Yeah.
I
I think
grew
you
up
need that.
playing country rugby league in Australia, which is like the fields aren't great.
Yeah.
The changing rooms are small. Like sometimes the home team will turn your hot water off. Like,
Yeah.
it sort of took me back
Turn
to
the
home.
lights off.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I like Castleford.
Yeah. I to be honest, I think Cass is one of my favourite away days because
It is mine. It is definitely
you said
mine.
joking to go back in time, but it is as a stadium. It's an old traditional ground. You know, they've only got 2 card machines between about 17 bars.
That's 17 bars.
So everyone's queuing up.
There's no hot
for
water.
2 pint
There's no
pots.
water, actually, when you go to Bog.
They had a really rubbish wedding DJ on playing like rave Adele music like before the game.
I just like how
and it was apocalyptic.
How, as a fan,
it was-
you can stand there like next year. You'll stand in the same stand, the same spot. And I remember being there as like a 10-year-old and just looking around like nothing has changed. It's just so nostalgic. I'm like, I am 10 years old and this ground has not changed one bit. Just the players and the kits. That's it. That's all that's changed.
So
30 years.
going into pre-season, then obviously we're being told that Mondays and Fridays are the hardest, and then obviously get the weekends off and there's stuff going on. How is pre-season going so far?
Mate, it's been really good. The boys are so fit. They came back in such good shape. Like every single one of them. It wasn't like 3 or 4 like last year. Came back in really good shape. Like the whole team.
Do you think that's because of that 2-week sort of end of season?
Taster
This is what it's
session.
going to be like. So if you want to be here, sort of like, or sort of raise that bar, or
Yeah, I think it was just like another level of sort of professionalism from the team itself, but also like Brad just said, like if you just want to win, you're just going to have to pull your finger out type thing, and we're going to have to buy into this. So,
Yeah.
and then everyone did buy into it. Everyone came back. Everyone's testing times are really good. Everyone's looking fit. Like Sambo's dropped heaps of
we
weight.
heard rumours about Sam Massone's dropping. I was using an Aussie phrase, heaps of weight.
Heaps of weight.
Did I get that right?
Mate, he looks good, and he's like when I'm obviously like had that little injury, so I'm just sort of gradually building back into the team. So I've been doing a lot of watching. He looks really good. The team looks good.
And at our live show, Jared, Alfie and Max were waxing lyrical about Tom Holroyd. Saying that he's coming back and he's just training the absolute house down.
He's like the Terminator, that guy. They get his way. He's been training really well. But yeah, he just... Poor old Tommy had a horror run last year,
He did,
didn't
yeah. We need him back.
Yeah, we just need him firing and then the new boys we got, obviously. So
So Jamie Langley's joined the staff. So what sort of influence is he having on pre-season so far?
just, big D focus. He's sort of come in as our defensive coach. Plenty of knowledge. He played in a lot of games.
good
and
player.
then he went and obviously was at Sale Rugby Union. So yeah, he's been really good actually. Just all the little things and bringing in his own sort of style of defence, which lines up with how Brad was trying to get us to go in that direction last year anyway. So he's been really good to be around. He's a good fella, like really good fella to be around. Easy to talk to, someone you want around.
And you mentioned obviously some of the signings there, some of the new boys, particularly outside backs. So obviously got Ryan Hall.
The props.
I'm on props. We're going to get there as well. Don't worry.
No, the props on the wings.
The props on the wings. Yeah, don't give Sam any ideas. Obviously Ryan Hall, Mike Acevo joining the club. 2 massive wingers. Obviously help you carrying out back from deep. I mean, you'll be taking the high balls now and just giving it to one of them now.
Just
which
chucking
is
it to them. Chucking one of those
far
40-yard
better.
passes. Boom, there you go, Hawley.
How pleased were you with Ryan and Miko joining?
Yeah, like obviously we had 2 last year. Honestly, 2 like probably in my opinion some of the best wingers in the comp. Obviously, poor old Fuss just couldn't
get out.
Yeah,
there,
but I mean, he's a freak. I remember watching NRL when I was a young kid, and
Really
he was my favourite player. So
Yeah,
just such a shame for Fuss. And then obviously we've seen what Ash did at the start of the year, but I'm really excited to see him move in a bit closer to the ball. But yeah, Micah and Ryan actually said at training the other day, it's like, I've never ever, since I debuted, played in a team where I've not been the heaviest winger. And like, I like look at Micah and I'm like, do you have any body fat on you? Like, but yeah, it's exciting for obviously for us as a club, but for me at fullback, it's just like, here you go.
There you go, big boys, left and right.
I did, because I was here at the community today helping out, and I did see Sivo next to Ryan Hall, and they're going, how is there someone...
How are they wingers? Yeah, how are they wingers?
Well, no, I'm used to seeing Ryan in the wing, but like Sivo just looks bigger in every way. And like the lads were saying, he is just a man now.
It's funny to watch people try to tackle him. It just doesn't work. Like in the wrestle room, he just sort of stands and makes people look like under 10s. But no, obviously,
in the wrestle room, are you there going, "Can I toilet? I just
yeah.
Street."
Yeah. No,
I'll take it easy.
I'll take Alfie, thanks.
Yeah. No, hey, mate, Alfie, strong as that kid. I'll take Cinny. No, yeah, it's pretty. When you see them sitting next to each other, you're like, wow, how, like as you said, how are you guys wingers? And then how are you on the same team? Like, but yeah,
stop them.
Yeah,
no.
good.
And you've played against Siva before, haven't you? Thinking, I don't know how did it go when you
Not
played
well.
against?
We survived.
Not well. We played against them at Parramatta, and Brad was the coach, and they beat us like, they flogged us.
Points,
yeah, and I made the poorest decision of kicking and chasing my own kick, and he just brought the ball back one-handed. Looked like it was like an orange, running the tennis ball back at me, and then I'll try and find it. I backflipped and then just got up and kept going back to fullback.
just rolled it right over.
Just dropped his. I'm like, I asked him if he remembers. He was like, no. Yeah, of course.
He just said, I've run over a lot of people.
Yeah.
I can't
You're not special,
mate.
Just because you got red hair, you're not special.
Jake Connor's another player that sort of potentially joined that outside back thing. It's a bit of an unknown for us right now because we don't know where he's going to be playing. Centre, full-back, half, because that's versatile. Obviously, Alfie had a great year last year as well, mainly on the wing, but covering for you when you had your injury now and then. How do you handle that sort of extra competition?
I think it's good, obviously, to have competition in all positions, which is, last year something maybe we lacked in certain areas, but I think the competition for spots will just, as I said, keep driving the squad up. So obviously everyone came back fit because they know that we're making signings. People are going to play in your position if you're not good enough. And Brad's the type of guy, as I said, he's firm and fair, but if you're not performing, you're just not performing. That's what we've got the depth for now. So I think it's really good. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to start training with the team. And you can, as I sort of said before, you can see it amongst the boys. Everyone's training out of their skin, which is no doubt because of that.
And is there a competition for kicking off the tee?
You just took my question.
Sorry.
I mean,
because when I was on Rugby League Products earlier, I was working early this afternoon.
It wasn't.
Lots of records for you doing goal kicking. I think there was some goal kicking at Newcastle as well. Has there been a kicking competition, and are you in it?
Well,
who else would be in it, by the way?
I think. I think if you went off, Crofty.
Crofty yourself.
Cindy's a good kicker. Jake's a good kicker.
Connor, yeah.
Sam Lasone.
Sam Lasone is the best kicker. He's just not playing 80 minutes.
Glenn told us he was sick of fetching balls out the river.
Ryan Golden's keeps tearing my pitch up. So.
Look, I think it obviously depends who's going to play in those positions, but you sort of want your goal kicker to be an 80-minute player, in my opinion. Crofty, he can kick him, but obviously if you don't back yourself as a goal kicker, you're probably not doing the right job. So I would like to do it, but obviously I got to get back and get running first.
Yeah. It's big shoes to fill with Reece leaving.
We said we won't mention him again.
Sorry.
Not in a bad way, we just gutted his leaving because he's absolutely...
He's gone now. But
still something I think we'll regret.
We talked about obviously size on the wing. Pack's a lot bigger as well. Cooper Jenkins, Keenan Paliasia. How are they going so far, and what do you make of them?
Yeah, really good. Same sort of thing. They've just come right in and just fit seamlessly. You wouldn't think that they've not been here last year type thing.
So nicely, yeah.
Yeah, they look really good. Keenan's obviously really big body, but he's got he looks good with the ball, which is adds to Cam and like Sambo and Mick, but then Cooper's just like he's another like Terminator. He's like, I am a robot.
I am Cooper Jenkins.
Yeah, give me ball. No, but he's good, and
I
obviously
don't mind that in a prop. If there's a prop that just wants to pick up the ball and run it with it,
he's really fast.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
He's not a sprinter, as someone on our podcast keeps saying he is.
He's told me, he reckons. He said he's the fastest. No, he hasn't really said this, but I've heard from a couple of guys that used to play with him. He used to be in centre wing.
Wow.
And he's just got really big.
Yeah,
and now he's in the middle.
Way,
He's had a growth spurt.
Yes. But yeah, he looks really good for us, to be honest.
And a fellow New South Wales Cup sort of player, like, what is the standard you've played with New South Wales? You've played down RL. Where does Super League sort of fit in? Is it a step up for Cooper coming into Super League? Is it sort of par or like?
No, it's definitely a step up. Your New South Wales Cup and Queensland Cup, and then Super League's here, and then you sort of NRL. Well, obviously Super League
until
have
the
won
World Club Challenge
2
anyway.
in a row, so
Yeah,
you can't
true.
say that. So.
No, it's true.
But in all fairness, it's just a different game. Like the NRL, different conditions. It's really quick. I feel like the Super League's more physical. Because guys want to bash you up over here. But yeah,
That's why
it
you've
will
got
be
206 tackle busts because you're running away from
Yeah,
them.
because I'm scared to death.
Who's the scariest player you've come up against last year? Is there anyone you're like, oh no, not him?
I mean, like, it's pretty scary, the concept of versing Conrad Harrell. But then he's just so nice.
So he'll run over you and then say, oh, I'm really sorry,
Yeah.
mate. Let me pick you up.
Nice to see you.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
How's the fam?
I would say at the start of the year, big Frank Pele, but I was good mates with him, so I wasn't too scared. I mean, I don't have to. I'm not in the front line, so I was like,
That's true.
I just got to
Flip that.
avoid running near them.
Let's do a different one. Which was the most skillful player you played against? Where you went right if they're coming,
If he's on the ball.
if they're fitting the ball, and you've got a hand in ball, you know that. Hang on a minute, there's a chance that I might be needed here as fullback.
Oh, I mean, like, George Williams is pretty talented to
a
watch.
good
I like watching that Archer Morg for Catalan.
for
I think he's a good player.
Super talent.
There's plenty. There's one in every team. That's why the competition was so good last year.
Bevan
I thought.
French.
Yeah, I didn't play against him.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
He
Jai
got scared and
Field.
decided not to play with
Yeah,
him when
Jai
he came.
Field. Oh, there's so many. Everyone, some good players.
Just switching back onto these overseas signings really quickly, as an overseas signing yourself, like, do you have a bit of a role to help them settle in? Like, do you have some advice? Do you tell them go have fish and chips? Like,
wrap up warm.
we heard that Brad likes going to
It's
Ilkley
getting
all the
dark in
time.
half an hour.
Like, have you given them any advice in terms of?
It's getting dark. It's
what to do?
3:30. Yeah, it's getting dark.
No, not really. I just sort of... Cooper moved in just down the road from me, so we had him over for dinner a couple of nights. And then I've just... Keenan, if you need help, you can reach out, mate. You're a big boy. But they're loving it. Like, they've... I think both their partners are coming over, maybe. I'm not really sure, but yeah, they're loving it. They're having heaps of fun. I think they're bouncing off each other too, because they're both here by themselves at the moment. No, not really. Just stay warm.
Just leave them to it.
And obviously,
wrap up warm.
Yeah.
as overseas players, you've got quota spot.
Yeah.
Not that you have like a sign above your head
Yeah.
the entire time, but there is obviously limited numbers of quota spots you can have in a side. Does that tag add any more pressure, or is it something that you just ignore?
Nah, not really. I don't. To be honest, like, I do enjoy pressure. Sorry, but I think the games, I put a lot of pressure on myself because I like to think that one of those games that I've had where they're just, let key moments slip. I'm like, I know I can be better than this. And to be honest, a lot of it probably came down to fitness last year. I probably wasn't as fit as I should have been, which is something I'm changing currently today.
You're not having fish and chips, so that's a good start.
Yeah, I don't think Brad would let you do that. Actually.
But no, not really. Like, it doesn't really occur to me. I know how proud of a club this is to a lot of boys in our team, and that sort of adds a bit more pressure in my, like, they want you to perform, and they want you to perform for this club. Like, just hearing how Ash and Cam talk about the club, makes you feel like you're, you have that same sort of thing. So, nah, that quota spot, I don't really even I've never thought about it until you asked me, to be honest.
Fair enough. So, what does a good 2025 season look like for
Treble.
you?
Easy. Next question.
For you personally. and then also for the team?
Just obviously, however best suits this team. Obviously, I've sort of got a different style of play to a lot of other fullbacks or whatever position I am. But just however best suits the team. Obviously, you got such good players in our team. How we all sort of gel together. I'd like to have a similar year to last year, but obviously just cut out those errors and just keep building on that combination I touched on before with Crofty and Frawls and our hookers like Jock and Ackers. So, yeah, just more time together. Similar to last year, more wins, treble.
Treble. I was about to say, sounds like you're telling us that we're going to win the treble. We have to say, by the way, producer Chris, the man behind the camera, is the Lachie Miller. You can't see him. He's Lachie Miller's biggest fan. He has got a bit of a producer Chris.
Just remember as well, we had on Josh had our podcast, we had our transfer special last year saying we should sign that Lachie Miller.
Yeah, it was
from
the
Newcastle. 2023 season when they got
he is.
I was like, Lachie, need to get him signing him.
He is the biggest Lachie Miller fan, and we're going to get some badges. Producer Chris, Lachie Miller fan club. Yeah, we'll send you one.
Thank you.
But what Chris loves about the way you play is, like you kind of touched on it there, that it is a bit. It's something that we haven't quite seen. Is that like from Rugby Sevens? We love, particularly Chris, he loves like this kind of these big booming passes and the steps you make past. Was it Darryl Clark when he came flying out and you just spun round? It's kind of moves and things we aren't quite used to in rugby league, quote unquote. Is that a bit of Sevens bleeding in? Because Chris and we absolutely love it. We love that style.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
It's pure entertainment.
We did touch on it before. It's because I'm scared. Yeah. Let's just
Cancel
not
the
brush
badges.
up. Nah, it's a different game in Sevens, and like you have such limited space, and the guys in Sevens are such good one-on-one tacklers.
Yeah.
So it's sort of you got to figure out different ways of getting around them. But I've just always, like when I was young, I was similar like this, just bounced around and stuff. So I don't know, just
Does it not annoy the lads in training though? Because obviously when we see you do it to us opposition players, we're like, yeah,
We
great,
love it,
step
yeah.
them all. But is there someone in training that you always step past that goes, for Lachie, not again?
Just
To be honest, no, not really. To be honest, I don't really do it at training as much.
Do it to Jared more. I'm sure he'll love that.
Yeah, but he will react. He's a little bit
got screw loose.
Yeah.
The Rhinos have we got 3 kits this year?
3 kits now.
Home, away,
Alternate.
Which ones?
Sure, there'll be another 5 in
Which
the
ones
pipeline
your
at some point.
your favourite of those 3?
I
Lachie?
think all
Lachie, sorry.
3 of them are better than last year.
Really?
I've really liked them, all of them.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair assessment. I'd say all 3 as a whole are better.
The home one's really cool. Like I really like the home one with the collar. I think I can't wait to play in that. I like the black alternate, like
Do you
the
like that
away
with the
one.
black
Yeah, I
one?
actually like it. Black is
Not
slimming.
because you were one of the people modelling it in the release.
No, not because of that.
Go back.
I remember looking at it, I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then I haven't seen in the flesh the alternate, but
The yellow,
I've seen the photos and that looks cool too. So I'm like, oh, how good.
You know when you do
You have
these,
to pick one.
the home one.
The home one.
Yeah.
and when you do these promo shoots, how is it weeks before the release? Is it months?
Yeah, they vary,
kinda
but
something
they're weeks sort of.
You just got to
months.
kind of hold it and think, right, you got to keep that information from us all, and then it's released.
I'll sell to the highest bidder. no, it's like weeks. Yeah.
And have you seen Ash's testimonial shirt? It's not been released yet, but
Nah.
have you seen it? Oh, well, we have, yeah.
That guy. Who shares anything with me? That guy.
It's pink with yellow polka dots on it.
Right up my alley.
One of the things sort of coming up early in the season next year, the Challenge Cup obviously was getting drawn away most likely to a team lower
Good
down.
question, yeah.
I know obviously we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, but is there any teams out of the hat that you're wanting us to go travel to?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want us to play against Keithley.
Yeah.
Because
So does Reece.
Yeah, like I lived
but
10
we,
minutes
I
ago,
think we
spoke
chatted about
this.
this. So my wife's brother's moving over to play with Keithley. Just completely random. He got an opportunity and he's going to do it. So that's like
That
I'd
would
love
be
to do
the
that.
dream draw,
Otherwise,
right?
Think
yeah.
Cass is old school. Wait till you
Yeah.
get to Keith.
Yeah.
There's a guy in a microphone that roars down it every time they score. It's unbelievable. And the floodlights go through the stand.
Yeah.
The floodlight towers go through it. It's unbelievable. No. It's appropriate size, unlike Batley.
That'd be awesome for you if that draw actually
Yeah, no, that would be cool.
came through.
So them, or Hunslet, which same sort of deal. My family friend's staying with us at the moment. He's just signed with them.
He's just signed with them as well.
So yeah, if we can get one of them,
2 chances then.
yeah.
I mean, Keith is because it's 10 minutes.
You'd love that because you could just walk over the road.
I did mention
I've been there for
one of
years.
the Cumbrian teams of a week, and some because the mom was like, "No, the pictures are awful." So I don't know if you've got one, Eddie, that you're wanting.
I love Halifax again because it's just over the road. I also love I love that ground. We played them in 2016 in the qualifiers.
Super 8s.
Yeah, the Super 8s. We went there. Yeah, I love that ground.
Anyway, this is actually a Christmas special, and we've actually not talked really one bit about Christmas.
So shall we? A few.
Since we all missed the memo about the Christmas
we all said we were
jumper.
wearing them, but then I just. I think this had been washed for about 12 years. It's like the oldest Christmas shirt ever. A few Christmas songs. You can answer these as well then. I think we'll all answer them. If you could listen to one Christmas song on repeat for the Christmas period, what would you choose? Mine would be Wham! Last Christmas.
That does surprise me one bit with you.
Really? I think George Michael in that video is one of the hottest blokes.
That's why.
He looks so good in that video, honestly. The hair, the jumper.
Tell your wife that.
I always do. She disagrees massively, by the way.
I'd go for The Darkness. The Darkness is Christmas song, and I can't remember the bloody name of it.
Don't let the bells end.
Don't let the bells out. End.
Don't let the bells end. You got one, Lucky?
No, you've mentioned this earlier, and I have been stressing about this moment the whole time. I can't think of a Christmas song. Does that mean I'm the Grinch? I'm the Grinch.
The Grinch.
You're just not used to a white Christmas. The way
No, I'm
completely different.
Barbecue on the beach.
I know one I just despise hearing, but
I'll go on then. What's the worst one?
that Justin Bieber one, I just hate hearing it.
Yeah.
Who's playing? Is someone in the squad playing that?
Jared.
Jim Gossett.
Nah, I don't know. It just gets played. It ran
Mariah
Christmas
Carey
time.
one, walking around London at work, and all I can hear is all the stalls playing Mariah Carey.
Mine, and Chris
Can't avoid
agrees, it's the Pogues, Fairy Tale in New York. Can't stand it. Probably go down like
Which
a fart
plays
in a lift
most
in the
into
comments.
Christmas? Which Christmas?
Christmas.
Which
Jonathan
plays
Wolff.
most into Christmas? Which one comes in like? Who's most likely going to dress up as Santa and gift out presents to everyone, sort of thing?
The Polish Santa, Mikolai. No, I don't know. Cam, probably Smitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves Christmas.
Captain
And
Christmas,
yeah, definitely. Now that I think about it,
Joint Captain Christmas.
He was pretty excited to come in and tell me about how he put his Christmas tree up, and so I think it's definitely Smitty. And he's
Put it up on 1st of November.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'd say Smitty.
Favourite Christmas film? Must have one of them.
Yeah, I love the old Grinch, like the old school Grinch. I love it.
Like the Jim Carrey one?
Yeah, I love it.
Can't
I
beat
watched
that.
it the other night with my son. He's just not old enough yet. I'm like, no, you will sit here and you
You
will
won't
watch it.
this. What are you crying for?
Yeah.
Watch it.
I think that I love that.
Reese?
For holiday. Absolutely love it.
Just edit that out, right? Just don't let him say that.
Die Hard on the holiday.
Yeah,
Sorted.
Die Hard. Don't let him say that. Home Alone.
Yeah, Home Alone.
Absolute
Got
classic.
voted the best.
Yeah,
Christmas
absolute
movie
classic.
I only watched that for the first
Although
time.
my two oldest boys were 5 and 7, we have to watch it in sections because as soon as Marv and Harry, the robbers, as soon as they start getting hurt, they start getting upset. Because they're like, that would kill him. Why is this blonde kid trying to kill these? Last Christmas one. Is there a team Christmas night out planned? Is there anything?
It could be.
We're not asking for an invite. We're probably asking who's the liability.
I want my jumper.
Do you get opportunity
Particularly funny.
to celebrate
that
as
was
a
kind of
squad?
my question. Yeah, is there a chance for one? Like, is there
Yeah.
downtime over?
Yeah. No,
Over the period.
we'll have one. Obviously not training as hard as everyone else, so I'll probably put my hand up to organise it. But yeah, we'll have one. I think it's obviously training hard at the moment. Not many of the boys are having a beer at all, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. So I think that sort of blowout and that sort of get together is pretty crucial anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, there'll be something.
I've always found Boxing Day a bit harsh for the players for that reason because
Yeah.
obviously they have Christmas Day with their families, but they can't be drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning like with eggnog
stuff
like
in your
I do.
face too much.
And like, you've got a massive meal. Well, really, I've got a game at 11:30. So yeah, I suppose you still get the chance to do it. But yeah, you mentioned Mick. Actually, there's a question that Eddie had that I'm not sure was on his list or was forgotten about. The documentary that's been released, sort of. We asked a question, and Eddie, tell me if I got this wrong, but who's the one that acts up to the camera most? And Jared said it was Mick. It always happens when the camera comes round, his top comes off, or he starts dancing.
Doing a little dance.
He's doing his dancing. Were they right with that?
Is that accurate?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. Well, like, I mean, look at the guy.
I said that. I said if I look like him, I'd always have my top off and I'd be walking around in budget smugglers constantly.
Yeah.
I'd never be dressed.
I mean, like, yeah, he has to because terrible attitude, that guy. Terrible to be around. Worst personality, but he's a good-looking fella. No, yeah, they hit the nail on that.
And were the cameras? Was it annoying having the cameras like follow around and obviously
follow Mick around?
Not just Mick around,
just Mick. Yeah. There's the rest of his ear.
You sat in the corner wanting attention.
No, I didn't notice them. Actually, didn't notice them, to be honest. After like the first little bit, they just blended in. They did a really good job. I watched the first one. I haven't watched the second one yet, but I thought they did a really good job.
Sound. Now on to the final bit, Eddie, if you're in agreement on that.
Yeah.
Previously, we've asked sort of quick fire questions about who's the funniest, who's the strongest, all that sort of stuff. But we're going to change it sort of going forward for the 2025 season, and inspired by the classic Rhinos media question that's asked to every new player, where every new player is asked to describe themselves in one word, or I'll let you have a phrase for certain other players, but we'll just say some teammates that you've got, and we just want gut instant reactions on these people. And we did a test version of this earlier.
I apologise.
And it was very, very funny.
So we'll repeat the test first, and I'll go, Jared O'Connor.
Doesn't wash.
Doesn't wash. There we go. Perfect. So that's what we're
Home
after.
Home run. The next one, Sam Lasoni.
Hilarious.
Yeah. He was funny on the pod when he came.
Just to be
really
around.
funny. We were astounded that he loves playing chess.
He's the best at it too. Actually,
Yeah.
I think he's met his match in Jake, but
does Jake Connor play?
I think they're they're both.
They're still playing now in the next room.
I can see that contest going well competitive between those two. Speaking of someone else that's competitive, Harry Newman.
That guy. No, Harry's a legend. He's a legend.
James Bentley.
That guy. No, same thing. He's Bentos is one of a kind. Yeah. I'll put it there, one of a kind.
Definitely.
Matt Frawley.
Just the nicest bloke you'll ever meet, I reckon.
Do you think he'd make a good coach? He comes across as a person that would, if out of any of the squad, I was going to say be a coach in the future. I think he's one. I'd say Cam is probably the other.
Seems a bit coachy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
From a distance.
I can see it. Yeah. Yeah. I reckon you're right.
Yeah, looks at the hairline as well.
Yes, matches mine. Brodie Croft.
Overrated. No, he's got all right. I guess.
He's all right.
Yeah, I guess.
He's not a bad player.
Alfie Edgell.
In serious, had so much potential.
Yes,
So that's
through the roof.
In all seriousness,
Absolutely through the roof.
yeah.
Ash Hanley.
I've already said this. He's like a racehorse. Yeah.
Super fast, super fit.
Just super good fella.
Tom Nicholson-Watton.
Same as Alfie, I think. Like potential. Or actually, I'll change it. Amazing coffee maker.
Really? Is he the one? Yeah, that you want to met the brew?
Yeah. I think he might have worked in a coffee shop for a bit. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, he makes a good coffee.
We'll get him on. We'll ask him.
He came on for the media day for us last year. We'd asked everyone like, "What's your favourite cheat meal?" And everyone gave like a cheat meal, and Tom Nicholson-Watton gave a cheat day.
I thought he said weekend or something. Didn't he? He said, "Can I have like a
I'll have this
weekend?"
to breakfast, and I'll just clear out Nando's.
And he gave us every specific order. And so I'll go to Nando's. I'll have a butterfly chicken. And then he said, and then about 5 o'clock I'll order a Chinese, and I'll have salt and pepper chicken.
Just went through it all like that. It's just like he had it off the back of his hand.
Ryan Hall.
Humongous. Humongous.
Jack Sinfield.
Oh, pest. Nah, same thing. I really like Jack, actually. He was one of the... I mean, I got along with everyone, I think, I hope. But one of the first guys that I really hit it off with when I came over here.
With Jack, yeah.
I mean, yeah, even though he's 12.
Yeah, he's been 12 for about 5 years, right?
They did say,
Grow up,
he's
mate.
put some size on over this. He's still obviously fairly.
Yeah, he's
small
trying
in
to throw it
comparison.
around to walk around like this.
It's not working.
No, it's not working, mate.
Try when you're a teenager, Jack.
And the last player, Eddie.
Jake Connor.
He surprised me because I think he knows this. When we played against him, he was spraying me.
Really?
Deluxe, yeah.
Is it at Huddersfield away?
No.
Every game.
It was at home when
okay.
they came back and beat us.
Is he really annoying to play against? Just constantly?
Yeah, you get those players. But he's like been such a good fella since he came in. I actually can't say a bad word about him. So.
Yeah, was it Ash or Ash and Jared saying he's really quiet?
I think.
Yeah, he's quiet. He just sort of keeps to himself, but he's always up for a chat. And if you wanted something to sum up his footy, he's got some of the best hands I've ever seen.
Really?
Played with,
Wow.
yeah, his
Well,
hands.
we've seen him beat us here before on his own, and I think maybe a bit your perception. You, as a fan, you only see a bit of chirpiness and this arrogantness a bit. And I remember that Huddersfield away for us this year, where I think he was getting in Newman's ear, and obviously at the end of it, I think you scored your try. And Newman went over to him and just gave him some, but you were giving it and taking it back, and I think it's quite interesting what that will mean for us next year. Like, because you can have arrogance, can't you? You can walk tall and walk proud, but you've got to deliver it as a team.
Yeah, exactly.
On the pitch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Next
Are
year.
you glad that he's on your side now, giving it to the opposition fullback?
Yeah.
Giving you
Like he's going to be stood
I
behind
actually went-
Sevo,
yeah.
Ryan Hall, Cooper.
Yeah, say it to me now. I went home and cried that night, but we don't have enough time to cover that.
That's brilliant. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for Lachie for coming down. Thanks to AMT Headingley for inviting us down again and letting us be
Final
here.
Question. Obviously, you've mentioned your injury. We've got this.
Oh yeah, how are you?
round one. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, no, I'll be right. We're just taking it slow at the moment because it was like a re-injury. So we're just taking it slow. But yeah, we're taking it slow and still have plenty of time to make round one. So
perfect.
We'll be good to go.
Perfect. Thanks, Reece. Thanks, Lachie. Thanks, Chris. Thanks to everybody that invited us down to Eddie and letting us record here again. And we'll see you as we review Boxing Day. That's the next time you'll see us. Merry Christmas, everyone. See you later.
Christmas.